Hello, Joe. Welcome to the call tonight. My name is Artemis, founder of New Earth Center and Cleanse ATX, and we are doing a 10-day guided raw food cleanse here in Austin, Texas. And on day 10, you're going to be coming to Austin and sharing yourself and your movie with us here in our community. And I'm very, very excited to have you on the call for you to introduce yourself to Austin, Texas, and tell us a little bit about who you are and your film and what we're going to see here on day 10 of Cleanse ATX. So, Joe, tell us about yourself.
Thanks so much for having me on the show tonight. So yeah, it's right now I'm in Sydney, Australia. That's where I'm predominantly live. I was born here. My film, Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead, is a story about how I effectively was fat, sick and nearly dead. That's why I titled it that. And it's about how I got to a point in my life where I decided enough was enough and I wanted to do something about it. And I just used common sense logic that I had been consuming mostly processed food and animal products, which I call the fun part of town. And I wasn't living too much in the healthy part of town, which is the whole grains and the plant food. And so I decided to see whether or not, because I was over 300 pounds and because I was on medication night and day for 8 years for a debilitating autoimmune disease, I decided to basically perform an experiment on myself and see what would happen if all I did was consume plant food. And I thought I'll just do this as long as it takes to get off my meds. The losing weight part was kind of like, yeah, that would be a benefit, but it was more about getting off the meds.
Yeah.
And in order to do this, I thought I'd supercharge it and do 60 days of juicing, kick off my plant food feast, so to speak. And so then I decided to put a camera on myself because I thought that would help. That would help me do it. That was like, okay, I'm really doing this, guys.
Yeah.
And so what people will see if they come to the screening on the last night is that story unfold and how that story then affects other people and how we follow other people. And now, as some of your viewers or listeners will be aware, we've now got over millions of people have watched this movie, which is kind of exciting. So I'm in Sydney, as I said, right now. I'm flying to Los Angeles in a few days' time, and then I'm going to be making the trip over to Austin to be there for the night, and I'm going to show the movie, and then I'm going to do what I've been doing for a year now, which is doing a Q&A and talking about the film afterwards and taking questions from the audience and hopefully giving everybody a really good background, what they don't pick up in the film, to be able to share my experiences and stories with. So I'm excited. I haven't been to Austin.
Oh, good.
I've been to Houston and Dallas and San Antonio, so it's about time I got to Austin. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome, Joe. I think Austin, Texas is the lighthouse of Texas, and this is the place where Whole Foods was started and Dell Computers, and Austin is a great city for Texas's first citywide raw food cleanse. And when I've seen your film a few weeks ago, and I was inspired. And one of the reasons I brought it into the 10-day cleanse we're doing here is because it's so inspirational, particularly you committing to 60 days of juicing, and then the truck driver you meet at the end of the film and how you changed his life. And, I have been 80% raw and plant-based for about 6 years. And when I left...
You look as though you have been.
Thanks, yeah. And so after watching your film, I was like ready to drink some juice. I was so lit up, and that's my hope for our community in Austin, is that once they see your movie here on the 10th day of the program, they're going to be inspired to cultivate their life practice around, juicing and whole foods and plant strong foods. And so,
look, I think I get asked this question a lot about, the inspirational side of our film, and it's a tough one, because going out and making another film, which I'm tossing around the idea of doing that now, and it's like it's not an easy thing to do. A lot of filmmakers go out there and try and do it,
yes.
And I think what happened in Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead was a very honest portrayal.
Yes.
And I think the audience is very smart. I give audiences a lot of credit. And I think audience can sniff out and smell something that just doesn't feel real, or it doesn't feel true, and true to the person that you've got to care about the person in the movie. Now, I'm not saying anyone cares about me because I'm like a rich white guy from Australia, just eating junk food. But I think the fact that this can happen to anybody, and the fact that we meet so many people along the way that just are helpless, yet are prepared to take responsibility for their own actions. And so, of course, everyone cares about Phil. And, of course, that angle, which wasn't planned, I mean, you can't plan these things. Documentary is that the cameras roll and you see what happens. So I think that the fact that I really tried very hard not to get on a soapbox or tell people what to do in this movie. I think people are sick and tired of being told what to do. I'm a big believer in leading by example, not leading by telling people what to do. I think we're sick and tired of that, to be honest. So I think that the example side in the movie, the fact that lots of movies also do a good job at pointing out the problem, but very few come up with a solution or a practical solution.
Yes.
So I think that when you get a combination of those things all coming together, you can get some magic that can occur. And look, I was just lucky. I mean, it's my first film, and I was just very, very lucky that everything came together. The truth sort of overrode here, and the audience gets to learn along the way, and then they simply ask themselves the question at the end, am I eating enough fruits and vegetables? Maybe I should have some more, and what better way of having them than to drink them?
Yes.
And so I think that's the secret sauce, if you like, that goes into a story that provides inspiration, in that you don't actually set out to do it in the first place.
Yeah, there is a lot of magical moments in the film, particularly as you're going across like Middle America. Like you were in Las Vegas for a little while, you were in New York for a little while, and you were interacting with everyday people and walking up to them and say, "What would you think if I was drinking only juice for 32 days?" And it was so just hilarious to see their reaction and to see what they thought. And I think a lot of us new to this lifestyle will relate to how people are connecting with you on the street, and I think that was really an awesome part of the film, is you interacting with people on the street and handing them juice and having them drink it, and that was really
Well, I think I had a bit of an advantage there, being an Australian.
Yes.
I think that if you're a foreigner in America, you get treated a little bit differently than if you say from the north and you're in the south, or you're from the south and you're in the north, from the west, etc., etc. So I think I had an advantage there. I also had a disadvantage in that the time that I was shooting the movie, Borat was #1 at the box office. So I had a lot of people who didn't want to talk to me because they thought I was like some guy who was going to try and make fun of them from out of town. So in most instances, I had to drink the juice first because they were very worried that I was trying to poison them or do something crazy.
Oh, I see. So
it's also funny.
So you would drink the juice to let them know that it was okay for them to drink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you get some strange dude on the side of the street saying, "Drink my juice." I mean, it's kind of like could be construed as someone out there like trying to do some damage, or just a crazy guy. So and all, I wasn't trying to do damage. I was just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to have you on the roof on March 30th. We'll be showing, we're going to start with a little bit of public speaking and live discussion around 7 p.m. And then we'll start the movie at sunset. And at Whole Foods, it's called the Sunset Supper Cinema, where we bring a movie screen and a projector onto the roof of Whole Foods downtown, and we show the film on the plaza. So it's a very unique movie theater where it's totally open. And we're going to be watching the film on the plaza with a full projection screen and a sound system from our local cinema, Alamo Drafthouse. We'll watch the film from sunset until the ending, and then we'll have a live discussion with you and several of our guests. And it's going to be a wonderful way to finish the 10-day guided cleanse through your movie and your story, and then a lot of people are going to ask what's next. And how do we continue to cultivate this lifestyle? And what have you done since the movie to continue to motivate yourself and stay focused and stay committed?
Sure. It's pretty much like, for me, I get asked that question a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and the view for me is that, as as a human being, I've only eaten four things, right? I've eaten plant food, whole grains, processed food, and animal product.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to spend a lot of time, as I said, in the fun part of town, which was the processed food and the animal part. Probably 95% of my caloric intake or total energy came from those two worlds. And down in plant world and whole grain world and these sorts of things was like only 5%. So what I try to do now is I try to spend more time in the healthy part of the world, but still have fun. I mean,
Yes.
Life's about having fun. So it's very much to me about trying to work out ways that I can increase my healthy food, like that healthy part. Like, how do I get more veggies? How do I get more fruits?
Mm-hmm.
I've got my juice here,
Awesome.
which is on my bench.
Yeah,
so
me too.
Already had you too. So I've already had one juice today. I've got this one is carrot, beetroot, apple, lemon, and ginger.
Yeah.
And I'll drink that juice, and then in a couple of hours I'll head down for lunch, and I'll make a choice at lunchtime where I'll try and have a salad with some nuts or beans or seeds or pulses or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then tonight, I'm going out to dinner tonight, so I'll probably have some fish with veggies or something tonight. So, and maybe some French fries.
Yes.
Maybe it's time to have some. I don't know. Obviously, I feel, but it's very much to me. That's how I try. And then exercise is obviously important. But the thing I find is that when you start living that way, when you start eating better, you actually want to exercise. You want to move. You want to do things. So, I found that over the period of, it's been over 4.5 years now since I did my 60 days and 3 months afterwards of eating only fruits, vegetables, nuts, beans, and seeds that enabled me to lose over 100 pounds, is that, I've kept about 80 pounds off of that 100. And I actually know I've got less fat on me now because I've actually built more muscle up since that. So I don't get on the scales anymore. To me, it's all about, do my clothes, do my jeans feel good, do my shirts, my jackets. I haven't been on the scales for probably 3 months. I just don't know. It's not something I even think about. To me, it's about staying off medication. I don't get sick anymore. I haven't had any pills for 4.5 years. I did have knee surgery a couple of years ago, so I had to have anesthetic for that. But apart from that, I've probably got to go under the knife again in a month because I've been running too much and I shouldn't run. But anyway, that's something I love doing.
Yeah.
So it's very much about being positive, I think, as well, and having that mental attitude that don't berate yourself. Don't wake up in the morning and go look in the mirror and go, oh my God, look how bad you are. You're ugly. You're bad. You're a loser. You're a nut. Actually, when you start to consume more plant food, you get out of the mirror, you get out of the shower in the morning, look in the mirror, and you go, how good are you? You look great. Mm-hmm. And that really sets up your day for being positive and getting out there. So that's how I've dealt with it. And look, I know that's like a little snapshot. I'm happy to go into more detail on the night, but that's like a bit of a sneak peek as to the way that I try to handle the world post a cleanse or post a reboot, as I like to call it. So stay tuned.
Great, Joe. Well, thank you for being on our call tonight and sharing yourself and your story and your film. And did you ever expect it would get this big?
No, never.
Yeah.
Although I must, when I was shooting it, never. But when we started to show people the movie in theaters, like when we were doing our testing, it was really interesting that we were asking people to give us commentary on the film, and all they wanted to do was know the recipe. So we were actually trying to get people's feedback. So how about that character? What about that scene? No one wanted to talk about that. They just wanted to say, what's the recipe? I want to do this. So I kind of had an idea then that, boy, this is testing really well. So this could be something. So but I'm excited to come to Austin and the home of Whole Foods. I've been screening with Whole Foods for a couple of years now, and John Mackey is a great guy and great leader of the company. And it's exciting to come to the home of Whole Foods, where it first started off in Austin. So I hope to see you there and everyone who's can make it along to the night. I'm excited, and I look forward to seeing you there. And as I always say, juice on.
All right, Joe the Juicer, thanks for being on the call tonight, and have a wonderful day in Australia. It's 10 a.m. there now, so you enjoy the rest of your day.
I will. I'll catch you later. Bye.
Bye.